Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, October 5th, which means it's day 65 in the house. And we have an eviction tonight. By the way, an eviction that I will not watch live, as I am going to be at a show tonight, a comedian, going to see a stand-up comedian, and that show is like at 7:30 tonight, so there's just no way I'm going to see the show, and I'm not going to probably tune into it. I will just watch it later and be surprised on my own. So I'll still be around tomorrow morning to talk about whatever happens tonight. So for most of you, it won't make a difference. You'll just not see me tweet about it live tomorrow or tonight. All right, so what is going on? Well, we've actually, and I laugh because one of my online friends pointed out that I'll probably be saying it's flipped about 3 different times between now and tonight, but I don't think so. I do think it is going to stay with the name I'm about to say, but I don't think that's the name I said yesterday. So it looks like Nicole Mimi is going to get voted out tonight. Could change, but let's talk about how we got there. Which, again, is also an interesting thing because this is quite an intricate little way this happened. And I am sure that some people that listen to me right now will not agree on the exact turn of events as I describe them. It's you try to do the best you can to capture what's going on, but depending on how closely you watch things, be it online chatter or actually the feeds themselves, you get a different sense of what's going on. And there is definitely a lot going on here, and I'm certainly not seeing it all, and nor am I picking up on it all necessarily. But I'm going to try to summarize it. I mean, for the 1,000-foot view, Nicole is probably getting voted out tonight. As you zoom in, it gets a little bit more complicated and a little bit more hard to work out what exactly is going on here. But the gist of it is that, and this is the way I see it, is that Blue, since Jared's been gone, has been trying to, find someone to kind of mesh and sync up with. And she's kind of synced up a little bit with Nicole, who's finally come around to working with some of the younger house guests, right? Because as I said at the very beginning, she just seemed to be very under 30 people. She didn't want to work with them. She didn't think they were mature. She was the youngest member of the professors because she's 30. And I really think that hurt her game at the beginning. But now that's a lot of the people in the house that are left are under 30. So, and she'd not developed those relationships, but she's working on them now, a little bit too late. And one of those is Blue. And Felicia was the other one that she was kind of, working with. And of course now she's nominated against Felicia. So, there's been the talk all along. Cameron didn't want to keep Felicia in the house because he says he doesn't want her in the jury because he knows she's not going to vote for her. He doesn't want to see her in the jury, and that's why he wanted her out. But he's now, they do realize that look who placed second place in the power veto competition by 20 some seconds. It was Nicole. So it's like, well, do I want Felicia in the jury, or do I want Nicole possibly winning something where they don't think that Felicia can win something? So this has been stirring around in the background. Plus, again, Nicole seems to be kind of cozying up with Blue. And in reality, if you look at Matt and Jag and then Cameron as being an alliance of sorts, they see Felicia as more of a threat to Corey and America than Nicole. Nicole has also been kind of cozying up with America a little bit. So Corey has been, getting this bit of a mastermind edit if you see it on the CBS show, and he has done some things and made some moves, and so he's seen as a threat to Matt and Cameron. And Corey has always been very anti-Cameron in the way he's talked. So Cameron sees Corey as a threat. Matt and Jag, I mean, they like Corey, but they realize that they're going to have to get rid of him. So how are we going to make this eventually? So how are we going to make this work? We have to split up Corey and America somehow. And they see Felicia, who seems to be very anti-America, has said, has implied that America is just riding Corey's coattails and these kind of things. And so they see her, Felicia, as more of a threat to Corey and America than Nicole. Okay, so all of this is going on, right? They've known these things. They've been thinking this stuff, but it kind of started to bubble to the surface yesterday. And they were kind of like, well, look, and then Corey's talking, and Corey sees all these things too. They're all very open and honest with each other. And Corey is kind of like, well, it really is more advantageous for me to get rid of Felicia because she's more anti-me than Nicole. But I'll do whatever you guys want because, neither of them are that, in his mind, he's like, neither of them can do a whole lot, either Nicole or Felicia. Both of them are kind of not that strong of players, so you're kind of rolling the dice with either one of them. So I'm kind of okay with either one of them going. And again, Matt and Jag and Cameron kind of Corey kind of fed onto Corey's idea of, well, let's flip the vote and get rid of Nicole then, because Nicole is kind of closer to Blue, and maybe we don't want to keep her around. And they got Corey to buy into it, and they got Corey to kind of lead the charge to make this flip happen. So it's kind of Corey coming across as the one responsible for this, which Corey is eating up. I'm saying eating up. I'm exaggerating a bit, but Corey is all on board with this. And so it's kind of like, well, this is your idea, right? I talked about this long time ago, where as a something that Derek used to do at Big Brother 16 and others have done, is to make other people think they're the ones that came up with the idea to do something. They kind of led Corey down the road of, sure, let's do this, and you can kind of be the one leading the charge, and he kind of did. They manufactured a whole situation, which I didn't realize at the time it was a manufactured situation, but lots of people pointed it out to me online, where they got Matt, Jag, America, Corey, and Blue in the have-not room, and basically said, we're going to vote out Nicole, and this is why, and some of the reasons I just listed. I watched I watched a good chunk of this conversation. And what I didn't realize is that was all orchestrated to get Blue to agree to vote out Nicole, because they know that she'd rather keep Nicole, but in a room with four other people where they're all saying, we're going to get rid of Nicole, she kind of was forced to go along with the idea. And she did indeed agree to go along with the idea. And so it was like, all right, well, there's 5 people in the room. They're going to vote out Nicole. That's what it seems to be. And I do think that's what's going to end up happening. But I didn't realize that it was all kind of a way to kind of force Blue to agree to it, because right afterwards, Jag went back and reported to Cameron about what happened. And by the way, while Jag was reporting this to Cameron, Bowie was in the room, so she's kind of aware of what's going on too. So there's another vote that's kind of in the loop. So there's a lot of people pushing this get rid of Nicole thing last night, and so that's why I really think it is going to happen. I don't know how CBS is going to edit this all together. I don't know if they can, trying to explain this level of, we're going to, get rid of Nicole because Felicia is more of a threat to Corey and America's game. I don't know if they'll try to explain this to the general viewing public. They may just weave there's lots of ways they could tell this same story. And, but that's kind of the deep dive on what's going on. And I'm not even 100% sure I'm completely accurate on this. There are bits and pieces I may be missing, but that's good enough for me to understand why Nicole is probably going. By the way, she kind of got wind of this shift. She sensed it. She talked about she could sense the change. She was talking to Bowie Jane, who did the whole, I don't really know what's going on. I'm just kind of on the outside. Well, as I said, Bowie Jane was in this discussion a little bit earlier, where Jag was explaining how they pressured Blue into going along with the idea. So Bowie Jane isn't quite as innocent as she is proclaiming, but she claimed to be innocent and not know it when she was pressed by Nicole. I didn't watch that whole conversation, but I watched enough of it to kind of just laugh at the whole Bowie jingling. I'm just not sure what's going on. And Nicole's saying, I just sensed a shift today. I could just see a tire shift in the house. Everything just changed. And she was right. It did. So it seems like Nicole's going. From there, what happens? We just wait till we get ahead of household, right? That's what I always say. We just wait. Let's see what happens. There's too many people in the house, too many variables, to run through all the scenarios. If this person gets it, if this person gets it, it's hard telling. Probably Felicia will probably get it just because that's the weird one. Or Suri. They did get some, the feeds went down for like 45 minutes last night, and they apparently saw either video clips or images of former house guests. It looks like there's some kind of a memory competition coming up, whether it's going to be for head of household, probably, or power of veto, maybe, but probably for head of household. So tonight might be a live head of household competition where we can watch the house guests, do a memory thing. It may also be after the show because they don't give us many live head of household competitions anymore. But that's everything that's going on that I can come up with right now. Oh, there's no have-nots this week, right? Have-nots, what are those? That just popped into my head because all the have-not room visits that went on today. They just use that as an extra meeting room. Matt also sleeps in there every night. Actually, I don't... maybe they were just relaxed. Maybe Corey was just relaxing in it. But there's the dog bed, and the hanging bed are two beds that in the have-not room that are not too terrible to sleep in, and so they spend a lot of time. People spend a lot of time in those two beds. Matt every night in the have-not in the hanging have-not bedroom, or hanging have-not bed in the have-not bedroom. And so, yeah, that's what's up. Sari, again, she's been kind of just quietly humming along. No one's talking about getting rid of her right now, so I don't know if she'll be a target next or not. I think Corey thinks that everyone's willing to go after Cameron in the next. They're kind of like, oh yeah, well, I don't know if that's going to happen. I could very easily see Corey and America nominated next week, depending on who gets this. I don't know if Cameron's going to be necessarily anyone's target next week. After next week, maybe, but maybe next week he'll be head of household again, right? So, all right, that's what's up. I am going to think anything else to tell you about in the house? No, not really. I don't think so. The other thing I do want to do is, all right, so I talk about Patreon kind of in passing a lot of times, but I haven't given everybody a shout out recently, and today I finally got the time and got everybody's names. It's a bit of a pain in Patreon to get a list of names, believe it or not. But I went and got all my patrons. I currently have 14 patrons, I believe, which is great. A lot have been around for a long time. Some are newer, but and some go away and come back. You are welcome to become a patron. Just go to patreon.com and sign up. But I do want to give a shout out to my patrons before I wrap things up here. And so I usually do like first name, because some people, they have full names. Some people I have little nicknames and stuff. So let me run down that list. And this is, the list usually is in order from newest to oldest or longest time, I think. And it's hard, people sometimes sign up and drop off and come back, and I don't know if that shuffles them in the list or not, but here we go. Let me get this done real quick. So Tasha was the newest patron who signed up. Thank you again, Tasha. Jacqueline, that's someone who used to do it for a long time, and then she changed her email addresses, so that kind of bounced her around in the list, so that's why she shows as a newer one. Ryan, Walter, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Walter, a.k.a. Chip. Holmes is another patron. Thank you very much. And there's always Iowa Grandma Deb, who likes to put comments on my Spreakers, and I do read them. You know that. Thank you for your comments. And it should say Great Grandma Deb, by the way. Now, for those of you that didn't know, a lot of you have no idea who I'm talking about, but she knows. Sam, thank you very much. Kyle, thank you for being a patron. Nona, thank you for being a patron. I see Nona's name, and I think of my spaces and my driving, talking. And I haven't done any of those for weeks now at this point, but I've just been like majorly burnt out to fire up my live spaces and try talking to people. And so I apologize for not doing that for a while, but it's I do think about it, especially when I see your name, Nona, because we talked a couple of times on that. Angela, thank you very much for being a supporter. And Diane, thank you for being a supporter. Becky, I appreciate it. Thank you for being a patron. Ishara, again, another person who I see that name and I think of because I used to do Periscopes and she liked to see the farmlands and the snow in Indiana. Thank you for being a patron, Ishara. Miss chatting with you on my drives. Susie, thank you very much for being a patron. Appreciate it very much. And then finally, Chatty. Thank you again, as always, Chatty. Appreciate you as a patron. Those are my patrons. If you would like a shout out, again, you're welcome to become a patron. Just go to patreon.com/bbgossip, BBGOSSIP, and you can sign up at any level. It's just a monthly thing that's taken out. It is not a per episode. It is not a per thing. You just get access to all of the things I've posted in the past, including a couple of pictures from like my honeymoon, not my honeymoon, but my wife and my anniversary where we went out to Vegas a few years ago. I posted a few pictures there. That was my first look. You can see me pictures. Now, of course, I've done things where I've posted pictures online and videos, and I was on sequester and all that. But anyways, that's all there at Patreon. Appreciate it. Speaking of videos online and stuff, so we're done talking about Big Brother. That's going away. Now we're going to jump to Survivor, because last night was a Survivor episode. So let me talk briefly about Survivor, and then I will wrap this puppy up. So last night, Survivor, it was Brandon is on a tribe called the Lulu tribe, and they are a struggling tribe. And last night, again, the second episode was again a very big struggle for the Lulu tribe, although Brandon did find a idol. Oh, I was so excited. Brandon found an idol, or a clue. These things they've gotten so deep in their technical stuff on Survivor now that it really wasn't it was a clue to an idol, but it was one of these things that if you took it, you couldn't vote until it's a lot. You couldn't vote until you found the idol, right? And Brandon's like, I can't not have a vote, so he actually gave the clue to one of his tribe mates and said, "Here, you can have it because I can't be without a vote. I need my vote," kind of a thing. I'm not going to recap it all for you, but it was another struggle for that tribe, and sadly, in the end, Brandon also got to go on a special little trip and do another competition, so that was cool. But in the end, Brandon did not survive last night. He got voted out. It's hard to tell with the editing. Was it close? Was it just always knew Brandon was going to go? They try to make it seem like it could come down to a couple of people, as Big Brother does. I have no idea how close it was. Brandon may have known that there's just no way. I mean, he really struggled. He struggled in competitions, even the puzzle competitions, which was he was kind of like, well, I'm not good at physical, but I'll be good at the puzzles. And then he struggled on the puzzles. And this is all by editing, by the way. Again, I hate to say how his time on Big Brother was, on Survivor was, because I can only go by the edits, and it kind of drives me crazy that I don't want to tell you how things went for people, because I can't stand that, because Brandon can speak for himself. He knows better how things went for him, but he has been very quiet. I guess he'll have an exit. He has exit interviews now, so maybe we'll get to read some of that, and maybe he'll get to talk a little bit now that he's no longer on the show. Sadly, which also means that I'm probably going to stop watching Big Brother. Shh, don't tell anyone. I'm not that invested in the season. And so it's like, okay, I don't have to make that my watching and try to keep track. So I probably will stop watching Survivor now that Brandon is no longer in. I can take that off my list of to-dos, frankly. I would have loved to have seen him go all the way, though. But if he's not going to be on it, I don't need to watch it. That's me. It didn't draw me back in. There was no, let me see what happens now. No, it was all about watching Brandon. So for me, I think my Survivor watching is done for the season. And I don't need to watch Amazing Race because I don't know anyone on Amazing Race. Next Amazing Race season, I will know someone. They shuffled the Amazing Race seasons. I will probably watch Amazing Race for that viewing. I think it's Danny. That's right. It's Danny. Yeah, I think it was Danny that's on Amazing Race. We'll see that. So that's what's going on, guys. Other than that, yeah, we're going to call it a day. We're going to talk to you guys tomorrow. As I said, I will not be watching Big Brother live. I'll get home tonight, and I will probably try to catch up. But I'll be caught up by the time we talk tomorrow. So there you go. You guys have a good one. There goes an ambulance. And I will talk to you all tomorrow, Friday. All right? Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for your support, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.